Good morning, students. I hope you are doing well. Well, let us learn about our plants today. Okay. So, what are the three? Basically, there are three types of plants: herbs, shrubs, and trees. What are herbs? Herbs are the plants which have tender stems. They do not have many branches. Example: tomato, wheat, paddy. Okay. Shrubs. Shrubs are the plants which develop branches near the base of the plant. Okay, like the rose, jasmine, tulsi, etc. What are trees? Trees have very tall, hard, and thick stems. These stems have branches in the upper part above the ground. This is a herb, shrub, and a tree. Okay. What are creepers and climbers? Creepers are the plants which have very weak stem and cannot stand upright. We stand upright due to our spinal cord. Okay, but creepers are those plants which do not have their spinal cord. Think like that. They have plants do not have spinal cord. Just think that what will happen to us if we do not have our spinal cord. So creepers are the plants that cannot stand upright. Example: money plant, jasmine, green peas, etc. What are climbers? Climbers are the plant that climb upon another plant. Example: the watermelon, strawberry, pumpkin, etc. So now let's come to what are the parts of the plant. Number one is the stem. Stem is the portion of the plant that stands above the ground. Okay. Next, what is leaf? Now let us look at a leaf and try to understand the different parts of a leaf. Okay. Leaf. This is a leaf. The portion of the leaf that is attached to a stem is called the petiole. This is a petiole. See, this is a petiole. Next. What is lamina? The broad green part of a leaf is called the lamina. Means this portion is called the lamina of a leaf. Next, what are veins? The lines, various lines on the leaf. These line, these are called the veins. What is midrib? The broad green line in the middle. This one is called the midrib. Okay. Okay. What is now leaf venation? You must have noticed patterns made on the leaf. Patterns made by these patterns are made by veins. This structure is called leaf venation. So there are two types of leaf venation. One is the parallel venation, one is the reticulate venation. Parallel venation, if the veins of the leaf are parallel to one another, then it is called parallel venation. And if it is a net-like structure around the midrib, then it is called reticulate venation. Okay. See, this is a net-like structure. So this is reticulate venation, and these are parallel to one another. So this is parallel venation. Fine. Transpiration. What is transpiration? You must have seen the water comes out of the, sometimes water on the leaves. So the process by which water comes out of the leaf in the form of water vapor is called transpiration. What is photosynthesis? Photosynthesis is the process by which green plants make their own food in the presence of sunlight and a green color substance that is present in the leaf known as the chlorophyll. What is root? Root is basically the underground portion of the plant. Root has basically two functions. One is root provides the anchor of the plant. Like we have our feet below our legs. So this feet is anchoring our body structure. Okay. So similarly, root anchors the plant. The second important role of a root is to absorb and transport the minerals that are required to prepare the food of the plant. Okay. So there are basically two types of root. One is the taproot, other is the fibrous roots. Okay. Taproot has one central root and several hair-like structures, hair-like roots. These are called lateral roots. Example of such root is mustard, carrot, beetroot, parsley, china roots, etc. What are fibrous roots? Fibrous roots, on the other hand, are basically bushy in structure, like rice, maize, marigold, banana, etc. See, this is a taproot, and these are the lateral roots of the taproot. And this is a bush-like structure. You must have seen bushes. So this is a structure like bush. So these bush-like roots are called fibrous roots. Okay. So now let us look at what are the functions of the root. Like I have said, root anchors the plant. Okay. Root absorbs the mineral and sends it to various parts of the plant for preparing their food. Okay. Next, what is storage? Storage means roots also store the various minerals that are required for the plant. Next, reproduction. You must have seen small plants that grow near the roots of the other plants. So roots acts as reproductive part also. What is ecological function? You must have seen during the flood, the soil washes away. But what is the function of the root here? The root helps in reducing the amount of soil erosion. Okay. Okay. Now let's come to flower. Flower. There are two parts in a flower. One is the vegetative, other is the reproductive part. Okay. Vegetative part are basically divided into two parts. One is the stamen and vegetative parts are divided into two parts. One is the petals, the other is the sepals. Petal is the bright colored portion that we see in a flower. These vary from flower to flower and it attracts insects, birds, honeybees, etc. Okay, sepals. Sepals give support to the rising buds. Okay, and it is the green colored portion of the flower. Okay. Now, what are the reproductive parts of a flower? The reproductive parts of a flower is basically divided into two parts, stamen and the pistil. So what is stamen? Stamen is the male reproductive part of a flower. It is further divided into two parts. One is the anther, other is the filament. The anther is a yellowish sac-like structure. Sac means small bag, okay? Small bag-like structure that helps in producing strong pollens. What are pollens? Pollens are the small powdery-like structure that attracts the honeybees. Okay. What is a filament? Filament is a slender thread-like structure that supports the anther. See, this is an anther, this is a sac-like structure, and it is supported by a slender thread-like structure called the filament. Okay. Next, pistil. Pistil is the innermost part of a flower. It is also known as the female reproductive part. The pistil is divided into three parts. How many parts? Three parts. One is the stigma, which is the topmost part or the receptive part of the carpels. Style. Style is a long tubular-like structure that connect the stigma, that is the upper part, to the ovary, that is the lower part of the pistil. The ovary is a ductless gland that holds the ovules. What are ovules? If we cut the cross section of an ovary, we'll see certain structure. So the innermost portion of this ovary is known as the ovules. See, this is a diagram of a pistil. So the upper part is called the stigma. The long tubular-like structure which connects the stigma to the ovary is called the style, and the lower portion is known as the ovary. If we cut this ovary, we'll see the inner part of the ovary that contains ovules. Fine. So that's all for today. Have a nice day. Thank you very much.